Sorry for the late start, your man HRap coming at you live and direct. This is the End of the Bench podcast. I had a few technical difficulties earlier today. I didn't want to, the things I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm just going to get right to business. Thank you everybody who participated there. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that share button. It's a lot I want to get off my chest today. This is a podcast as usual. If you not watching it live, you can watch it live on YouTube. The End of the Bench, THAENDOFDABENCH. The End of the Bench, Build and Destroy is the name of the network. Or you can find it on, right now I'm live on Spreaker.com. I'm doing a simulcast. That way I don't have to upload a little later. Now, as usual, you can find us on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Now, let's just get straight down to business. We are in the midst. It's time for some action. I titled this. I don't know if I titled it on here or on Spreaker.com. It's time for some action. But it is. It's time for some action. And the reason I say it's time for some action is because we are living in a world in which we have people, white Christian nationalists, that are trying to basically do away with the way of life that we have. We were brought over here as pieces of meat, basically, and what they're trying to do is take things back in time. I told you guys months ago, I've been telling you for months, that the White Nationalist Party, aka the Republican Party, are trying to take the clock back. And what I mean by take the clock back is they trying to put you back in chains. They trying to disrespect. They are disarming and disrespecting women. They are doing away with all your rights. You think this role? See, what I want people to start realizing is this. You have to ask the why behind that why. The why behind the why is the real question. Why? If you're doing this, what's your real motive? And at this point, it used to be, we live in a country that people used to hide their racism, used to hide their discrimination, used to hide all their prejudices. But because the quote unquote good people, the good people in the country, what they do is we sit back. We are one topic voters. And what I mean by one topic voters, well, I'm voting because I want this. And if I don't get this, I'm not voting anymore. Well, for the last 57 years, the last 57 years, Since the Voter Rights Act was passed in 1965, or the Civil Rights Act passed in 1965, the Housing Act was passed in 1968, and Roe versus Wade in 73, which is less than 50 years ago, 49 years to be exact. Since those things were enacted, the people who are on the other side of doing minding your own business, like they say, it's an old saying, I spend 4 days a week minding my own business, 3 days a week staying out of other people's business. And that covers the entire week. Now, you have people who are in these parties, these white nationalist parties, these Christian evangelicals, who attempt to invoke God and everything. And what they do when you're passing judgment, what you're doing is going against God, because God told you. The God that I pray to, I don't know what God they pray to, but the God that I pray to tells you to mind your own business. Allow Him to handle it. Let go and let God. You hear that all the time. Let go, let God. Whether it's a stressful situation or it's a personal issue, let go and let God, because God is going to judge people. God is going to handle everything, and God is going to take care of everything. So if you believe in abortion, that abortion is wrong, well, all you have to do is not get an abortion. If you don't believe in gay marriage or same-sex marriage or same-sex period, all you have to do is not date somebody of your gender. Or if transgender is something that bothers you, don't mutilate your body and attempt to turn yourself into the opposite sex or what have you. That's all you have to do. But what we have is people who are attempting to take back the clock. How do you, when I say this in the past, people think, yo, Rap, you're being a bit hyperbolic. I don't know if that's really what's happening. Let's just start at the top. It's this guy by the name of Nick Fuentes. He's running for office. You know what? Allow me to back map that. We're in a situation to whereas we have people who are doing everything and like I said, let's start in 1965. If they gave up as easily as the quote unquote good people or the righteous people gave up, then what would be happening right now? We wouldn't have a problem. But they have systematically walked down the system until they get their way. We didn't go vote in 2016 because we didn't like Hillary. Look, the lesser of two evils. We always that's everybody's favorite line. You're voting for the lesser of two evils. Well, here's something that I don't know if the quote unquote good people are paying attention to. Whether it's a D or R next to the person's name, you can still complain and raise Cain and get what you want and need from a Republican mayor, from a Republican governor, from a Republican senator, from a Republican representative. If you make enough complaints, they have to serve the rights of the people. But the good people, the good guys, the people who quote unquote are on the side of being right, we don't do that. What we do is fall back. Do you know the largest voting bloc in the United States of America are the people who don't vote? Voting don't count. Well, if voting don't count, why is it that they're trying to take something away from you that don't count? The people on the other side of the wall are trying to take something away from you that according to you, it doesn't count. It don't make a difference who you vote for. Neither one of them going to do anything. Well, guess what? The people on the other side are getting exactly what they want while you stand around complaining. What does that mean to you? Does that have any effect on your life? It does, because if they do away with the Housing Act, if you don't own your own home, as a matter of fact, you can't even buy a home without the Fair Housing Act, because then redlining goes back into place and they put you in a specific area and say you can't come outside that area. Oh yeah, by the way, contraceptives. Again, this dude Nick Fuentes, contraceptives, wearing a condom, using birth control. They're trying to do away with that. But voting don't count. But voting getting people like Nick Fuentes in play, and he literally says, Nick Fuentes literally says, I don't want to take it. These days are horrible. I don't want to take it back to 1999. I want to take it back to 1099. This shows you the ignorance of a Nick Fuentes, because in 1099 was called for people who look like Mr. Fuentes, the Dark Ages. That's when people who look like Nick Fuentes had to be taught to bathe, had to be taught to do a lot of things. So, why you want to go back to then, Nick? But what he really means is this, and he literally articulated this. He says, women shouldn't be educated. Women shouldn't go to college. Women shouldn't have the right to vote. Women shouldn't go to college, shouldn't have the right to vote. And black people shouldn't have any rights. And how about this? Women should be, you shouldn't be able to use a condom or contraceptive. And you should start having babies and be married by the time you're 13 years old. So, women in this country, the 52% of the women, white women who voted for Donald J. Trump this last election, you wouldn't even be able to support the dude who you think has your best interest in mind if Nick Fuentes gets this way. But we're not paying attention to that because, see, don't none of that work, HRap, because God got my back. Well, last time I checked, let me see, faith without works is dead. See, God gives you the ability. He's not going to give you, he gives you the ability and he gives you the mental capacity. So you have the mental capacity and you have the ability. You don't blame God when you don't get what you want. You cannot sit around and say, hey, man, God didn't let me do. Yes, he did. He gave you the ability to do everything you need to do, which is fight against everything that you need. Fight against everybody who's trying to get at you. Look, if you don't understand this is what I want you to understand. Everybody in the next 4 years, in the next 2 years, 2.5 years, it's 2.5 years to the next election. Everybody in this country who has a seat in a gubernatorial seat, a senatorial seat, a representative seat, and the president can and should be replaced at this point. If you are one of these dudes who've been in office since the 80s or the 70s, and you're 87 years old, God bless you. Go to sit down, be an advisor, rest up, enjoy the rest of your golden years. You may be out of touch. It is a great chance that you're out of touch. There needs to be some developmental stages in this, so people who are in the know can run the country. The reason we're in this situation because there's a bunch of old white men who are running the country and they're running into the ground. And what were they raised on? A lot of them were raised on discriminatorial practices, racist practices, and things that are not beneficial to people that look like me. And you allow them. Look, Mitch McConnell has been the greatest defense mechanism against the black community since Newt Gingrich. He literally came out in front of the world and said, and I quote, "It is our job to make sure Barack Obama is a one-term president." Mitch McConnell is from Kentucky. Kentucky is 60% Democrat. Please help me understand how this dude is still in play. Help me understand how this dude is still in play. But because people are allowed to tell you, you allow people to tell you, well, it ain't important. But seeing how it ain't important, help me understand why this dude's still in play. Why he's setting up laws like, look at these silly ass laws just in Georgia. Let's go with the Georgia laws. 2016, 2020, the people in Georgia used to literally bring out buses, bring out dancers, bring out food to polling places. They would adopt specific polling places. And what would they do? When you out there waiting in that hot Georgia sun, hand you water, get you something to eat. People like Mitch McConnell, people like the Secretary of State in the state of Georgia and other elected officials put out laws that says if you help someone, if someone is standing in a line and you hand them water, that's illegal. And you think that voting ain't important. Why would they make something like that illegal? When you have people who is a documented schizophrenic. A documented schizophrenic. This is not a knock against our brother Herschel Walker. How does anybody get behind it? How is it that Raphael Warnock that bought in $17 billion into the state of Georgia over the last 2 years, how is he only small percentage points in front of a dude who is a documented schizophrenic? This is a dude who is an open liar. He told black men, you need to stop having children out of wedlock. Meanwhile, he has children out of wedlock. He told people to don't lie. Well, he lied about being a police officer. He lied about owning the largest chicken business in the state of Georgia, and he's still in play. When you have those type, remember back in the day, William Clinton almost was not the president simply because he lied about smoking marijuana. This dude lied about smoking marijuana And what happened? He almost didn't make it because he lied about the things that he do in his personal life. I'm not a fan of William Jefferson Clinton, but I'm just saying, look at the standards. Look at the standards. It just makes you want to just walk up to the next and goofiest person you know and telling you that voting don't count. Just that's what you really want to tell them because the things that they're saying are foolish. And then this goes back to the one topic voter. You have one specific issue. We need reparations. If we don't get reparations, we ain't gonna get anything. All I want to know from that person that makes that statement, what in the history of your life have you got after one request? Nothing. When you pray to God, the first time you pray, if you prayed to God to get a brand new car, you didn't get the brand new car to the first prayer. You have to show yourself worthy. You have to put in the work. And then you get your prayers answered. So why in the entire hell do you think after 2 years in office, Joe Biden's supposed to say, hey, no more student loans, reparations to black people, and they ain't done it in 158 years. And what you can do is continue to organize and galvanize and get exactly what you want. People complain about this Asian crime bill. Asian violent bill. Man, we ain't get nothing for what we did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. It happened about 20 years ago. A brother by the name of James Byrd got drugged to his death, got decapitated, limbs ripped off his body, and it was a James Byrd bill that year. It was a James Byrd bill that year. And what I need you to do is go into the liner notes of the bill, and you'll see that bill says the same thing the James Byrd bill. This lets you know that the people who are in play are not doing what they're supposed to do. See, to take it back to 1865. 14th Amendment signed releasing people from indentured servitude because they were not slaves. There's no such thing as a slave per se. There's a person who is enslaved. A slave is not a person. But everything is said that we have protection by the law. Basically, the United States Constitution took on the black community almost like I don't want to say it this way, but it is. I'm going to have to say it this way. Almost like a foster child. We were supposed to get what we needed then. And then it took 100 years later, before we got this. The people who we look at as evil, wicked, and demonic, it took them 57 years to get what they wanted. 57 years. But see, we want it to be done instantly. Just imagine if the white nationalists of this country gave up after the first time. The United States of America would be the greatest place in the world to live, no matter what color you are. Look, this is ruled by minority in this country. Rule by minority. Minority rule. If you don't understand what that means, is the minority of the people are ruling the majority of the population. Look, white people on earth make up 13% of the population. See, you know how they flip it on you. Black people only make up 13% of the population. That's not true. I've given you the numbers. I'm not going to go over them for the 10,000th time. But that's not true. We make up a greater percentage because we are a group of people in ourselves. We are a group of people in the home by ourselves. We are not two sets of people. We are a group of enslaved people who are descendants of Africans. That's one group. You got people with this foundational black thing. What the hell is, if you want to, why must we continue to divide ourselves? Why must we continue to divide each part of our community? Light skin, dark skin. Let's start at the basis. North and south, east and west, light and dark, rich and poor, educated and not. To quote Samuel Jackson in School Days, when it's all said and done, y'all niggas just like us. And I hate using that word, but it's an appropriate quote. Why must we figure out ways not to be alike? Look, look at this. You see my hands on the screen. I'm moving my hand left to right, up and down, right? Do you understand the difference in your black ass being in the United States of America and your black ass being in South America or one of those Caribbean islands? Is literally this. That's the difference. So while we divide ourselves, why not galvanize with the brothers and sisters of the Caribbean, the Afro-Latino brothers and sisters, because the Afro-Latino, that population is growing and growing fast. Galvanize with that community, galvanize with the South American brothers and sisters. It is more black people in Brazil than any other place on this planet besides the continent of Africa. But we continue to look at each other as if we're different. But if you told me to be quiet, and when you got somebody who favors me from Barbados, even when you got somebody who favors me from Haiti, you got somebody that favored me from Brazil, a brown-skinned brother, big forehead, beard. It's one of us on every continent. And you stood us all next to each other. Who would say he's an American? They put us all in a black t-shirt. Wouldn't nobody know the difference unless we start talking. So why are we consistently falling in line with white nationalist ideology? You are not this and I am not that. You are not this and I am not that. Who told you you were that? Somebody, man, look, if we're going to keep quoting people like the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the great El Hajj El Malik Shabazz, a.k.a. Malcolm X, what we need to do is read the whole damn book. Stop acting like you're different from your brothers and sisters. You know what? That's just like that stupid ass concept of step brother, half brother, half sister, because we don't have the same mom and daddy. Who taught you that stupid shit? But you quick to call one of your homeboys. You quick to call one of your homeboys your brother. But you won't call another brother your brother. See, these honorifics, either they need to stop or they need to be casted upon the correct people. My brother Anu, that's an honorific that he has earned. My brother Big Illinois, that's an honorific that he has earned. They call me their brother. I've earned those honorifics. So, why is it that it's so difficult for people in our community to galvanize behind hate? See, it's easy to not galvanize if I'm going to talk about how cool the state of Illinois is, and then you start talking about how cool the state of California is, and then somebody start talking about Virginia, somebody start talking about New York, somebody start talking about Texas. Okay, we divide in that, and that's in fun. But when people start attacking black women, what difference do it make where that sister from? Because if you come at me and mine, I'm dying. It ain't nothing to talk about. You come at my daughters, you come at my boys, you come at anybody, my woman, my aunts, my sisters, it's going down. So if you allow somebody to attack somebody else's sister, why should they help you if they attack your sister? It is this poem that was made famous after the Jewish Holocaust. And basically it states that everybody was doing their own thing and got mad when they ain't had nobody to help them when the people came after them. So you can keep looking at, oh man, I'm sick of those gay people. But you got a gay cousin. You probably got a homeboy who gay and you accepted him. You got a gay coworker who's a nice guy. You want that to happen to them? See, because we, at this point, 2022, excuse me, whoa, I'm 11 years behind. 2022, we all got a gay somebody. So, if you don't want nothing to happen to your gay family member, you should want nothing to happen to nobody's gay family member. Stop saying, look, once we get these nationalists, these white evangelical nationalists out of the get down, then we could debate if gay and straight is right. Well, guess what? We don't have to debate at that point, because then they're doing their thing and you doing your thing. Why do you give a damn what somebody else is doing, man? Meanwhile, the people who hate you, the Proud Boys, the Oath Takers, the Originals, the Ku Klux Klan, the White Nationalist Party call themselves the Grand Old Party, aka the Republican Party. They are not paying attention to nothing but you don't look like them. It's amazing how the white population becomes the white population as long as it's talking about hating brothers and sisters. But when they alone, they Jewish, they Irish, they English, they German, they're French, they're Polish, they're Slavic, when it's convenient for them. But when it comes to discriminating against us, they're white. Take your ass outside of this country, ain't nobody white. Nobody, ain't nobody. You can go up in the Nordic countries where these are some of the most pale people on the country. The Netherlands, some of the most pale people in the country on the planet Earth. They're not calling themselves white. See, white is a weapon. I keep telling y'all, white is a weaponized way of describing yourself. Because when you leave here, you're not even, look, the fact that you call yourself an American is stupid. I'm an American, Central or South or North. Canadians are Americans. But see, you're not thinking that way because you've been taught to think another way. You are a citizen of the United States. And those are nation states. Each governor is a president. You ever notice that each state has a Supreme Court? Each state has a House of Representatives. Each state has a senator. 2 senators, 2 houses. And then they got U.S. senators, they got state senators. Because they are each individual nations that are combined to make the United States, nation states of this criminal enterprise called the United States. See, we're not looking at that this way because we haven't been taught to look at it that way. Because we keep trying to roll things into something that they are not. Keep allowing people to tell you who you are, how you should think, and where you should go, and see what happens. See, and then another thing, stop dissing each other, man. Oh, brothers ain't gonna never do that. Sisters ain't no good black men, ain't no good black women. How did y'all buy into this civil war in the first place? Who started that? Who created this civil war where black men and black women don't get along? There's some trash human beings in both genders. Yeah. Have a lot of us been worked over by the trash human beings of this country? Yeah. But you got worked over by McDonald's. How many times you go into McDonald's and they messed up your food, but you took your ass right back? How many times have you gone into any establishment in the United States of America and they done screwed you over? You took your ass right back to that establishment. But a brother do you wrong or a sister do you wrong. All these B's and all these N's ain't nothing. But who wrote that narrative? It's always going to be trash people that walk the face of the earth. Always. Now, if you want to hold on to that trash, that's on you, man. That's on you. I guarantee that's on you. Because I ain't doing that. You know, I've lived a charmed life. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it real funky with you. I got some issues. I got some hang-ups. But I lived a charmed life. But what I don't like is the fact that we hate each other. But as Malcolm X said, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you how to do that? People who are voting for your demise right now. You have a man running. Look, you had 106 people running for office, and they were part of the insurrection. Insurrection is an attempt to overthrow the government. That's called treason. Treason is punishable by death in the United States of America. See, they got you. Oh, Roe versus Wade, that's a violation of my privacy. But in order to have privacy, you have to be considered a human being. And you're supposed to be 3/5 of a human being, right? At no point does the Democratic National Party or the Republican National Party ever eradicate the fact that you are not 3/5 of a human being. That's why they can treat you the way they treat you. But the rules are set up so you can win. I told you. November 2022. Half the Congress, half the senators, half the congressmen are up for election. 2024, the president and the other half are up for election. If you really want to take care of this situation, what you can do is vote their asses out. And guess what? HRap might not be the dude. We thought HRap was the man. HRap ain't nothing but talk. We getting rid of him. But what we're not going to do, and then what we're going to do is, as long as HRap is in office, what we're going to do is this. We're going to sweat skin off his black ass. We're going to sweat the skin off of his black ass. See, we are under the impression that because there's a Republican in office, we can't bug the hell out of him. That is a lie. what I'm about to show you is that this is the End of the Bench podcast on Built for This Network. I am HRap B. I'll be back in 2 minutes, 2 seconds. How y'all doing? This is HRap, built for this network, the End of the Bench podcast, Build and Destroy, where I attempt to build up the community and destroy the lies and the propaganda that's around the community. Thanks for tuning in late. I had some technical difficulties earlier, and if you don't like it, that's how we getting down. Now, like I was saying earlier, man, it's time to activate, or just you're gonna end up dying, man. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, you know what, man? I told y'all this week. Last week I'm gonna lighten up the show, and I am. But you know what? This week wasn't the week to do it, man. Because look, it's time to activate. 2 hospitals in the state of Texas. Remember I told y'all Texas is a battleground state. Texas, they lay out the BS in Texas, then it spreads. Arizona, Georgia, Philadelphia, Oklahoma, and other states. You know, Mississippi Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama is beyond me because there's more of us in those states than anybody else. And how the hell don't we control those states? But I'm going to need you to get in on that. Now, 2 hospitals out of there are 407 hospitals in the great state of Texas. Only 2 of them, according to Associated Press article. The name of the article is "Law Spark Profound Change." Do you understand that doctors are delaying saving women's lives in regards to this abortion thing? There were 28 women reported last week in 2 hospitals. 28 women. These are the only 2 reported. This is the Associated Press. I just gave you the name of the article. Rock with me, man. I'm a man on Instagram. Roll with me. 2 of those hospitals, you had women. You had women who almost died. 28 of those women almost died because doctors failed to do abortions. You know, you had tube ligations and things of that nature. If you're not familiar with a tube ligation, that's when women have a fertilized eggs in their tubes, and that all that's ever going to be is cells. It's not going to develop into a child. These doctors, and I'm not going to completely blame the doctors because they are put in this position. Am I willing to get sued and lose my license or go to jail for doing what's right? Even though they have a Hippocratic oath, and the Hippocratic oath said that you need to do this, but would you be willing to put your life and everything in jeopardy for this? No, you more than likely you wouldn't. And I'm not excusing these physicians because some of them are doing it because they don't believe in it, right? So these women, one of the women had a stillborn child, had a stillborn fetus. If you don't know what stillborn is, that means that child will never be a human being. It is not a living, breathing entity. It is a child that has transitioned before it came to the world. And this woman had to wait to the very last minute for a doctor to remove this child from her body, potentially almost killing her. The reason I'm bringing this up, man, 60% of these women have ongoing issues. So, oh man, I ain't rocking with that gay stuff. I ain't abortions. I don't believe in that either. But do you believe in the fact that if a woman's life is in jeopardy, her life should be saved versus this child? Do you believe that the woman... See, we can get to the point. It's this show called Bridgerton. We get to the point where artists imitating life. Life is imitating art, excuse me. Bridgerton. This series rather, had a lady who was about to give birth to a child. The child would have killed the lady if she'd have had it. Do you know on the show, the doctors waited. The husband was dead. So the doctor went and got this woman's oldest son so he could determine if she could either have the baby and die or if she should have an abortion. That's the world we're living in right now. What are you outside of your mother freaking mind? How in the entire hell could that be an option? I love my son. He's 29 years old. But when I get married, my son ain't got no say in my life. And when he was 17 years old, he wouldn't have had no say in my life then. Or if I had a wife, when he would say, well, his mother, let's say if I'd have married his mother, and we would, no. Once I die, I'm out the picture, she controls the whole get down. Or hell, if I'm out of town, she's in charge. How is it that you have the audacity to tell a person that they're forced to have a baby? Do you know that there is a 10-year-old child in the state of Ohio, a 10-year-old child in the state of Ohio who's looking for a way out to go to another state so she can get an abortion after being raped? Do you know there are sisters in this world, women in this world who are choosing, who have been sexually assaulted, they have been raped, and they are choosing sterilization. They are choosing to be sterile or become sterile versus getting attacked and being forced to have a child by their attacker. Imagine if somebody shot you and they made a law that that person had to live in your house and eat your food while you paid for it. You wouldn't go for that. But you have people who live in the United States of America who want a woman to get her humanity attempt to be ripped from her spirit. And she is going to remember that for the rest of the days that she's walking the earth, no matter how normal it get life, how close to normal life becomes, she's going to have to deal with that for the rest of her life. Now, how about this? That attacker's child, you got to get up and feed him. You have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and feed him. You got to feed him every 2 hours. You got to wipe his butt. You got to bathe him. And then this child grows up and looks just like the attacker. Now, women have the amazing capacity to love just about anybody, even things that don't love them back. Well, why the hell do we want to push that to the limits? Oh man, it's in the Constitution that abortion ain't legal. Do you understand why Constitution is illegal in abortion? Smarty-eyed Negroes and Negrettes, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, haters and better friends. Do you understand that? Because a woman that was enslaved is just like a stock. You pour into her and she gives out dividends. Why would you? Of course you're going to make abortion illegal, because you had enslaved people using herbs and things, giving each other abortions then. See, but they don't teach you that in schools, because that didn't happen. You ain't see it on CNN. That didn't happen. I ain't never heard that HRap, so that didn't happen, right? Because massa ain't tell ya. But they made it illegal for an abortion because if I buy this young black girl, feed her, when she get thirsty, she start having a woman thing, she's able to produce another enslaved African. Another person comes from her, and as soon as she heals up, we're going to get it again. You know, just like people do that with animals. You know, people breed pit bulls. People breed bull cows and things. You know, it's a running joke on Instagram. Well, baby, hey, do you know a bull has sex over 2,800 times a year? And he's like, I bet you he ain't sleeping with the same cow. Because they're getting those bulls to they mass producing those bulls to have cows so they can clone the meat. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said it. That wasn't a Freudian slip, so they can clone the meat. So why would see? This is just like I told this dude a couple weeks ago about the Second Amendment. Oh man, the Second Amendment say I can have a gun. You do understand the Second Amendment was invented to shoot your black ass. Yeah, Second Amendment. Oh man, we got the right to bear arms. Bruhs and sisters, stop quoting things. You know, first of all, let's go to Stevie Wonder. If you believe in things you don't understand, then you struggle. Superstition is the way, right? Superstitious song. The Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Do you don't understand why they had the right to bear arms? They ain't had the right to bear arms to fight against. See, because for one, when something go down, you couldn't call 911 back then. You need to have your own get down so you can defend it, right? What would have been attacking people, rich white landowners back then? It wasn't the British because they just lost the war. It wasn't the British because they just lost the war. So, and you don't have to make a law to defend your country. So who are you defending yourself from? Indigenous people and enslaved Africans, because you lied to the African and said, hey, if you help us beat these British, we'll give you freedom. Lie number one. Lie number two, that you're a savage. So now, if these people rise up, because you do understand we outnumbered them at all times. It used to, up until 1942, I'm sorry, when they started offering those land grants to simple state of South Carolina. It was more of us in South Carolina than there was any white folks. When you have people who are bred for the purpose of labor, you will always outnumber the people who are breeding for family purposes. 4 million people were emancipated. It wasn't 4 million of any group in this country. Again, you go back to that minority thing. You're not a minority. You are the global majority. There are more people with this color skin on this globe than anybody else. How you are a minority? A minor child like. Because you know why? Because you believe everything that the people who you think are major, aka adults, say. But you're not a minor. Do you understand? Look, let's go to the do a little European history before I move on to the next topic. European history. How many farms have you seen on pictures of farms in Europe? Not many. If any, not many. So Africa is the home of agriculture. You know why? Because that's why a lot of our brothers and sisters, see, as Dr. Carr even said this recently, the reason they're so angry with us is because we're their parents. See, it's your natural human instinct to roam. Some of my brothers roamed north and got caught in that damn ice age, stood up on that frozen rock called Europe. You know, bell peppers up there and the fruit up there. Ain't nothing up there, right? So everything moves fast. And that's why, you know, you have this timely fashion to keep up with. Because if you don't hurry up and cultivate the land and get what you need, you're going to freeze to death and you're going to starve to death. But when you're on the continent, things grow plentiful 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So there is no rush. Because it's the tropics. You know, a lot of us have been to the Caribbean. When you go to the Caribbean, you notice that fruit is on the trees all year round. No matter what time you go there, the fruit's on the trees all year round. So we are agricultural people. So that's why we were bought here. Do you understand? If you'd have watched the forecast, you'd realize that when you think of rice, you think, you know, you've been taught to think of the Asian community, our Asian brothers and sisters, but rice is from Africa. We developed the land, we tilled the land, we handled everything in the land. So once the emancipation happened, people started starving to death. People started starving to death. So in order to create a situation where we were forced to help them, they created what is called the Black Laws. What are those Black Laws? What do those Black Laws get you? Black Laws basically made it, that's why that but clause in the 14th Amendment. Slavery is illegal unless you break the law. Unless you break the law. If you break the law, then you're back in jail. Break the law, you're back in jail. And then what happens when you're back in jail? You put him back into indentured servitude. And then Abraham Lincoln invented this thing called sharecropping. Right after he gave the white landowners reparations. Oh, I thought we couldn't do reparations, but they got reparations to the tune of $900 per person. $900 per person. Because I'm not going to call you slaves. I told y'all we're not slaves. So these are the things that we need to keep in mind. That's why abortion is illegal, because if you abort this child, then my dividend would never be paid out in this stock, aka this woman. And they're less than human anyway, so don't even worry about it. So white women, again, 52% of y'all said Donald Trump was the way. A bunch of y'all be at these Trump rallies saying, hey, he's the one. When you trap, don't turn us. If we can't help. We can't help. Again, man, we talking about 28 women almost dying in Texas alone. One had to be placed on a breathing machine because she couldn't physically carry a child to term. No one should have to choose between. No one should have a choice forced upon them. My child or my life. My child or my life. And again, I'm not going to blame these doctors, because some of these doctors are caught between a rock and a hard place. Oh, rap, you taking up for the doctors. No, I'm not taking up for the doctors. It's just, hey, some of them are jerks and they just doing what the hell they want to do because they got these things. I got my morals, and abortion is wrong. And what? Shut up. It's not your business. It's not your business. It is not your business. So, do we want to continue to live in a world like this where people are deciding what women can do with their bodies? Because when you decide, see, that's again, brothers, oh man, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not a woman. But if I let you do my woman, then I'm going to do you next. See, that's why we need to be dying for these women, man. Oh man, see, I don't believe in that. Nobody asked you to believe in anything. What you do is you standing up to protect your damn self, fool. Fool. I'm keeping it 100, man. See, when it get to the point where a stillborn child is in a woman and y'all don't want to remove it, it's not about abortion. It's about control. This man, Nick Fuentes, stood in front of the world and said, women don't have the right to read. Women don't need to know how to vote. They don't need rights. Black people don't need rights. Women should be married at 13, not legally be able to use contraceptives, and have as many children as humanly possible. That's what happens when you assume this replacement theory. And the replacement theory, I keep telling y'all, this goes back as far as y'all homeboy Abraham Lincoln, the dude who part Native American. He's part indigenous, he part white, and he part black. But don't nobody want to talk about that. But he said, do you believe I ever make them equal to us? Abraham Lincoln, you know, the father, he freed us. Yeah, fuck, ain't freed nothing. He used us just like the other presidents used us. So if you think Abraham Lincoln is the friend of the black man, you can get on up out my face with that. I'm about to close out the show. And I seen my man Dog come in. I was waiting on him. Because I told him I was going to wait to talk about this so he could hear it. What we do, man, we galvanize community. We galvanize in the community for 5 minutes. Somebody gets shot and we mad for 5 minutes and then we move forward. Don't nobody think about it. So cop killed one of our children. And then you always have that jackass on the sideline saying, well, why don't we get that mad when we shoot each other? What make you think you ain't that mad? So a brother killed my cousin. I'm mad as hell. To this day, I'm going to die in 2016, October 12, 2016. My cousin Vincent Lamont Williams was murdered. I'm mad about it. I'm going to die mad about it. I ain't finna carry the anger around. See, takes me to another quote. I don't know who made this quote, but it says, anger is not a sickness. Anger is the identification of something that has been done wrong. Now, if you sit in that anger and use it, it becomes acid. But there's nothing wrong with being angry. Exactly. That's what my man Dog just said. Right there. And that's what I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong with being angry. What we need to be is angry about being violated throughout the nation. And you can be dumb enough. Now, and that is what I'm about to say will make you raw dog, buck naked, stupid. And blame all white people. Just like All black people don't make you look bad. All white people ain't bad. Some of my white brothers is watching this. Pat Finn, salute. Michael Flink, salute. Jeremy Kalish, salute. John Kalish, salute. And I got countless white homeboys. Countless. Dan Egan, salute. Countless. I don't have an issue with white folks. I have an issue with people who identify as white. Because you know what's funny about that? All those guys who the world identified, the United States identifies as white, when we talked about race, they would say, like Pat Finn, quick to tell you, man, I'm a mutt. I ain't one thing. Exactly. Thank you. All of those guys told me what their culture was. Dave Trope, Jewish brother. You know what? They never identified as white. Dave Trope identified as Jewish. Pat Finn identified as Irish, German, and a few others. He said, I'm a mutt. I forgot what Michael Flink identified as and Dan identified as. But none of them said that they were white. Unless they were cracking a joke. It was a self-deprecating joke. Then they would say I'm white. Just part of the fun. So, this white thing, we ain't doing that anymore. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because what we do, like, a few years ago, we got mad at Gucci. And then you had guys like T.I. He stepped in front of the world and said, hey, we're going to boycott this for 6 weeks. What the hell? Tell you what. Look at it this way, people. I mean, that hurt them for a minute. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Your significant other cheats on you. Is it cool for them only to be mad? Like your wife, if it's a man, if y'all a man, or if your significant other cheat on you. Try being mad at them for 6 weeks and then, you know what, baby, it's cool. Ain't gonna happen. You'll be mad forever. Why? Because in your mind, she or he disrespected you. And if they disrespected you, you ain't gonna do that to me. I'm done with you. Look at how you treated me. And you done. People walk away from their husband and their wives every day for infidelity. Not willing to forgive. But Gucci puts out a blackface thing that if you actually would have looked into it, it was honoring black people. It's just in this country you don't know that. But I don't want to get into that. But Gucci disrespected us, and it was okay to get mad for them for 6 weeks. A black restaurant makes your food a little off. And you mad at them forever. Hey, see, that's why I don't mess with black folks. Why you don't mess with black folks? Your ass thing gotta make. I challenge anybody that walked the face of this earth that ate at McDonald's more than 10 times and say your order wasn't jacked up. 10 times. That's all I need. 10 times. They gonna blow your order. You done open up. It ain't been some cheese on your Whopper. There's been something wrong. But you go to a black establishment. See. They ain't give me no fork. I got a homeboy, Patrick. I got a homeboy who goes to this black-owned bakery, and because they have a very delicious snack and they sold out every time he come there, see, that's why I don't mess with them. And I say, hey, won't you pay for it the day before and then have them hold it to the side? See, man, they should just make enough. Oh, so it's cool for your black ass to order the shit and then you never show up and they stuck with it versus you paying early and then going back and getting it. He had an excuse for that. And me and Pat been rocking since 77. And if you get mad, sucks to be you, homeboy. You know who I am. You knew who I was before I opened my mouth tonight. And that's what it is. But he talking about not going there no more. But his black ass then been to the corner, to the Arab corner store. A million times they messed up. He used to go to the deli right across to his crib. They messed up. Jose, one of the homies, was messing up his stuff in the deli, white on deli. I used to mess up his stuff when I worked at Subway. Oh man, you ain't make it like he did the other night, B. But he brought his ass back. But the bakery, you want to give up on them because they got a delicious treat, and they're only gonna make a limited amount because they don't want to be left with it because it's a bakery and nobody want day old pastries. We give up on each other. The reason I'm bringing up this give up on each other thing. I've been talking about contraceptives. They want to make contraceptives illegal because they're in this replacement theory thing. They want to make birth control illegal, but I told y'all some women use birth control to regulate their menstrual cycle. So if you're not regulating, your body not filtering itself, your kidneys mess up, your liver mess up, and then you die. But ain't nobody willing to do all that though, right? Right. So one of the biggest drugstore chains in the United States of America, Walgreens, coast to coast, border to border. Walgreens, white couple, Wisconsin, last name Pence, ironically. The woman, first of all, it's a woman, it's a white woman who, this white woman, she has a couple days left on her birth control. She got 5 days left. So she don't run in there and get the re-up. She got time. She go to Walgreens, ordered in Walgreens. And she go there and the doctor, she got 5 more refills on this. The doctor, this is out this woman's mouth. I'm not making this up. Doctor says, okay, cool. Go get it. She got 5. She go in there, set the order up. It's an old white lady. She said, oh, well, you got to talk to your doctor. We can't refill it. She say, I just talked to my doctor. She said, you call your provider. The provider says, what you talking about? The provider call in. They say, we going to refill it, but not right now. We'll give us a day or two. She 5 days behind now. So she finally go in there. And this older white lady says, I don't want to fill that prescription. She ain't even the pharmacist. She a registered clerk. I don't want to fill that prescription because you shouldn't be using those birth control. Interesting. The Pence family, Wisconsin. Woman, forget her birth control at the crib. But you know, you and your old lady, y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. So they go to Walgreens to get some condoms. I'm splashing. I'm splashing. Pull out game strong. But I'd have been out of splash. But they did the response with it. They ain't do the HRap. They did the pull out. They ain't do it. Smart people, but ain't out of smash. Out of splash. But the lady won't sell them condoms. Another older white person. No, there was a younger white person this time. She said, I ain't selling you no condoms. She said, no, these from y'all. I just got them off the shelf. No. I don't think you should be using that. Both of these people, the couple and the young lady, are not from our community. They white. So it ain't even they tripping on the brothers. Walgreens has a policy. If HRap don't agree with what you purchasing, he ain't got to serve it to you. Because if I'm morally conflicted, I don't have to serve you with that. The people complain to Walgreens, say, hey man, you just got to go get somebody else. What in the entire hell do you mean? Because what happens, check this out. If you are anti-birth control and you are anti-condoms and contraceptives, that means your ass is probably, you should be anti-liquor. I bet you're selling 6-packs though. Guess what? You should be anti-potato chips because those things killing you. See, I was talking to my pastor tonight. Everybody want to talk about, that's a sin. Homosexuality is a sin. Condoms and contraceptives are sins. Last time you told one of your homeboys or your old lady that dress looked nice just to get out the house, that's a lie. That's a sin. The last time you seen somebody taking a drink, that's a sin. One of your homeboys get drunk with you, that's a sin. You ain't supposed to get drunk. If you're overweight, one of your homeboys, homegirls, sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, cousins, if he overweight, he's sinning. That's a sin. Obesity is a sin. But that ain't a sin that you mad about, right? But see, we only trip on sins that contradict with what I believe. Otherwise, it's just a choice. No. If we're gonna bring up the Lord, we're gonna follow the Lord. Or is that the moment that you start minding your own business like the Lord said to? The Lord said, let me handle that. The Lord said, I got this. The Lord said, but you didn't. The Lord told you to, but you didn't. You're interjecting your opinion in other folks' lives. This is why, I may never get a sponsorship by them. But if you ask me, if Walgreens are not personable enough to fire these people, fire, not suspend, not write up. You know what? They can't fire because it's policy as of now. But I don't need no sensitivity training, because ain't nobody ever had to train me to mind my own business. Ain't nobody ever, like police officer, sensitivity training. Ain't nobody ever had to tell me, hey, rap, you know what? Killing somebody might not be the move. You see, let me tell you why killing somebody, because you don't want to hurt their parents, you don't want to hurt their children, you don't want to hurt their significant other, you don't want to kill nobody. Nobody ever had to tell me that. You are paid an hourly wage to ring up items. And if Walgreens ain't willing to stand behind people and have their employees mind their own damn business, maybe we need to never go. That's why we need to go to Target. That's why I need to go to CVS. That's why maybe we need to start going to those RXs, those independent pharmacies. Maybe we need to do that. See, because this is the state of mind I'm in as of right now. Maybe, just maybe, if we walk away from somebody permanently, people get the hint. Big Illinois can tell you, one time, even though it wasn't going to kill me, I went to Big Illinois, the crew, the homies, we was kicking it. And we went to this place in Chicago called Greektown. And we went to get some gyros. Best gyros in town. And this place piles the meat on something heavy. And at the time, I was piling it in. I was in my late 20s. I was eating with 2 fists. So I go in the joint. I say, yo, my man, let me buy extra pita. And, you know, I'm going to eat it. You know, I'm going to make 2 sandwiches. My man told me no. I say, no, just charge me. I say, tell you what, charge me for a whole nother sandwich. Don't give me another sandwich. Just give me the pita. He told me, no, you got to do what I want you to do. I said, what? I said, I'm paying. What do you mean I have to do what you want? It's my money. Charge me for the sandwich. Don't give me the sandwich. Just give me the extra slice of pita. Give me the extra pita. My man told me, you're going to do it my way. You're going to have to get up out of here. I said, oh, for real? I said, no problem. I had him pile on things that don't even come close to going on in gyros. Lettuce and tomatoes and pickles and everything he had. I waited till I got to the register, because they fix it like at Subway. It's like a assembly line type of joint. I waited till he got all the way to the register and walked my black ass right up out of there. That joint closed now, and I never ate there again, because you're not gonna tell me how I'm gonna take my food. If I'm paying for this, you're gonna do what the hell I say, or you're not gonna do nothing. Indeed. See, show y'all I'm not just making this up. I'm not letting you tell me what to do with my money. Why do we boycott things for short periods of time? Can't nobody tell you what to do with your money. Can't nobody tell you what to do with your time. If they disrespecting other folks, see, like, again, everybody love the great quote, the late great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Everybody love to quote him. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So if they disrespecting a young lady and her husband by telling them that they shouldn't buy condoms, won't you come to my house, take care of these damn children? Won't you get this little Walgreens, a little $12, $15 an hour? I'm gonna need you to shoot half of that to my crib to help me take care of this baby you want me to have. Oh no, you can't do that because you're taking care of your children. But that's what you're supposed to be doing. And if Walgreens is standing behind that nonsense, we need to tip our hat at Walgreens. 2 fingers, 1 word, I'm out. For real, man. It's over. It's enough of this temporary boycott thing. And if Walgreens think they're so powerful that we don't need them, we can go to Target. See, that's the beautiful part about corporate America. Corporate America will adjust to you. See, and then when Walgreens get their act together, so what? Let the people who down with the white nationalism, who down with the discrimination, who down with the oppression, who down with the involving themselves in your personal life, let their ass go to Walgreens, and we'll be at Target, and we'll be at CVS, and we'll be at Rite Aid, and we'll be at Kroger, and we'll be at Piggly Wiggly getting our prescriptions filled. Because guess what? Walgreens is only in play because we go there. I'm not ever going to Walgreens again. Never. I'm not getting nothing from Walgreens. It ain't really nothing I get from Walgreens now. Some ice. That I'm not buying that high ass liquor. I can't even drink no more. So I'm not doing that. But we got to, man, look, folks. I need everybody, man. I need everybody who listens to this to tell a friend to tune in. I need everybody who listens to hit the like button on Facebook and or YouTube. I need everybody who listening to this to get 5 people registered to vote. We can remove these animalistic mentality having ass people from office. Winn-Dixie, exactly. Thank you. We need to remove this mentality from the people who rule the government in the United States of America. We can get rid of their ass in November, and we can get rid of their ass in November 2024. Again, if you think voting don't count, I have never seen anybody try to take something that was invaluable from somebody. You will never see somebody run up on you and ask you to turn your pockets inside out and give me that damn lint. Because lint has no value. If somebody's trying to take something from you, that means whatever they're trying to take from you is valuable. If they don't want you to vote, that means voting is invaluable. Because voting gives them the right to do what they want to do. Remember I told you I would never show any more trauma porn? I'm not going to do it tonight because I haven't. Due to the internet issues, I didn't even get a chance to totally prepare, optically prepare for the show. But I am going to show y'all next week. Last week was the 101-year anniversary of the 103-year anniversary of the Red Summer. 1919, Red Summer. That's when white folks got mad at black people coming back from the World War and jumped on their ass in about 50-something cities throughout the United States of America. Some cities they went twice. If you're ready to deal with that type of tyranny, having to get off the curb, Bill Duke when he was young, he had to get off the curb when the white people went. If you're ready to deal with that again, don't vote. See, it ain't about who you elect. It's about what you have them do once they get elected. But if you elect some of these zombies and these white nationalists, then you ain't gonna have no choice in it. And see, like our brother Clarence Thomas, a lot of people, man, hey, my brother, he your brother, man. Believe it or not, man, then I'm out after this. Do y'all understand what Clarence Thomas stands for? Clarence Thomas is a conservative just like most of us. Oh man, he ain't like me, man. He a coon, he a sellout. Nah, he disagrees with you. But here go the crazy part about Clarence Thomas. Do you know our sister Sonia Sotomayor, who on the Supreme Court? She's the Afro-Latino on the Supreme Court. You know what she used to say when she was district attorney of New York? She said she wanted immigrants of the Caribbean on all her trials. You know why? Because when they saw a brown face up there, they were more likely to convict because they said you go on a chance. Clarence Thomas says, this is Clarence Thomas, I'm about to quote Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas says his life changed when he read Malcolm X, the book. You know what that means? Clarence Thomas has bought hook, line, and sinker into a system that is anti-him. Foolish? Yes. Coon? I wouldn't give him a coon. Because what he believes is this. If you remove all the excuses from the community will rise. Do I agree with him? Hell no. But the reason I'm defending a portion of his mentality is we all have a right to think the way we want to think. Exactly. And my man Big Illinois said, and she's revered. because she understands. She understands the mentality. See, we don't have to agree with each other. We just have to respect each other. That's it. We don't have to agree with anything the other person says, but we do have to respect what the other person says. Every time. You know, every time we have to come on and just respect everybody's opinion. You have the right to feel the way you want to feel. You got everybody gonna do. You know what? You might put your eggs in first when you make a cake, and then flour, and then milk, and then butter. Or some people put the butter in. It don't make a difference if it's a cake. If you think you're doing what's best for the community, that's cool. It's a million ways to get home. You know what I mean? When I used to live 1442 North Central, just for example, I used to catch the brown line home. I used to catch what they call the red line to the brown to the crib. Or I can catch home into division and walk up. Or I can catch home into North Avenue and walk up. Or when I was dating this one girl, I catch the Homer bus south, get on the blue line, catch the blue line to downtown, switch over to the red line, or to the red line, North Avenue or Claiborne, then walk to the crib, catch the North Avenue bus, and then I'm home. All those different ways got me to the same place. And we can find them. Where our glasses places, hey, I need to find one because I'm blind as a bat. I have good sight, but when it's this late in the day, I can barely see. But the point of me saying this, I'm not defending Clarence Thomas because I think Clarence Thomas is wrong. But what I am defending is his ability to have his opinion, as long as it doesn't infringe on anybody else's rights. So if you disagree with Clarence Thomas, all you have to do is just imagine, look at this, watch this. If we would look, I don't like Bill Clinton, so you damn sure know I don't like what's his wife, Hillary Clinton. I didn't like Bill Clinton back in 1992, and then somebody just recently pointed out to me, you know, you didn't vote for him when you didn't, you voted for the other person when you didn't vote for him. And I was like, damn it, smart ass HRap, and I didn't figure that out 30 years later. What a jacket. But anyway, but what we gonna do, what we need to do is this, and only this. Come together on common ground, protecting the people, protecting the children, protecting the elderly, protecting the women, and galvanizing the men. Once we do that, when you are dealing with people who are of good character and have a moral compass, then and only then can we move. Can we make this nation a great place? Otherwise, it will be ruled and run by slave owners, descendants of slave owners. Descendants of slave owners. So you can keep looking at gay or straight. You can keep looking at southern or northern. You can keep looking at east or west. You can look dark and light, and educated and non. You can look at all those things, and then you can fall behind. Or you can galvanize with good people like yourself. Get people together. They don't have to agree with you word for word, letter for letter, point for point. You don't have to do none of that. But what you have to do is have equal rights for everybody, being respected by everyone, and put yourself in the best possible situation. When you do that, then and only then you will have peace in your community, in your house, in your community. That's it. In your city, in your state. I mean, you know, it sounds good. I'm going to move to Africa. Ask Paul and Essie Robeson how that move to Africa worked for them. Paul Robeson went in front of the United States Congress and stated, I'm not a citizen of America. I'm a citizen of the world. Paul and Essie Robeson. Essie is his wife. Legalese as well. You know what they did? They revoked his passport and forced him to stay here. Same thing happened to W.E.B. Du Bois and his wife. Same thing happened to W.E.B. Du Bois and his wife. So all that, man, I'm sick of this shit, I'm gonna move. Boy, your ass can't move across town. But what you can do is get up off your ass, galvanize your community, and get with people who are like-minded. Like we used to say in the 80s, man. He my A alike. He my A alike because we be alike because we see alike. That's some old school hip-hop shit for you. But all that means is the people who think like you need to move like you. And when they move like you can get things accomplished. Going forward, this is the last week I'm not going to be silly because I'm finna introduce y'all to B. HRap is cool, but B finna be hosting the end of the bench. I'm still going to be HRap. Having some fun, though. But I just couldn't have no fun this week because I'm tired. But going forward, I'm going to have some history, trivia, and I'm going to raffle off an end of the bench t-shirt that's going to look like this every week. It's going to look like that. It's going to look just like that. That's how the end of the bench t-shirt going to look. One a week. I love fun on the show. I'm going to let people know. You come in the chat room, you say something stupid, I'm just going to tell you. Every time you say something stupid, we're going to have some fun. And we still going to be informative. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to kick it. And we're going to enhance each other, man. It's your man, HRap. And as y'all know, every week I acknowledge the people who give me inspiration. Please hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend to tune in. I had internet issues. That's why I had to do my show late. Modem crashed in my little studio. Late Rent Loud Music Studios. I want to salute the people inspirational to me. That is the Ghetto Boys Podcast, Tariq Nasheed, Nori, Talib Harley, Ray Grady, Zoe Williams, Corey Hogan, Craig Smith, Al Sharpton, Heather B, Super Dope Brother Clay Kane, my personal favorite radio personality, Read Daniel Favors, one of the most informed human beings I've ever come across, Dr. Greg Carr, Karen Hunter, the queen of the whole situation, and the Baba, the Black Eagle, Joe Madison. He the dean of this thing. It's your man HRap. Tune in every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, or catch up with me on, I just saw Rare Beauty. Shout out to Emma, Rare Beauty. She said on the Spreaker side she can't hear me, so I'm going to stop being lazy. I'm just going to upload the show. I'm going to delete this show and I'm going to upload the show. That way y'all can hear everything I say. If you're not hearing me on Spreaker, thank you for tuning in. But if you're not hearing what I'm saying, I'm just going to upload it on the show. I'm stop being lazy. I got a couple things on the turnaround. I got my man Sean Walker coming up. He's running for state senator. And then if he don't make it state senator in February, he's running for alderman in the 28th ward here in Chicago. Not a problem, April. Reach out to me, inbox me. We connected on Facebook. And then I'm gonna have my man Jesse on here. Jesse's a Vietnam vet, and we gonna I'm gonna just keep introducing y'all to people who are interesting, and they're gonna galvanize us. That's what we're gonna do. Again, agreeing with it. I don't need to agree. You don't need to agree with nothing I say. You don't need to agree with one word I say. Just say it, and man, say it. Understand what you're saying. Speak. Give me some points of reference, and you might enlighten me. See, that's the thing. This ain't. I do all the talking on this show, and I'm gonna start dropping the link in the joint. So if you HRap, I don't believe that, I disagree. You come on and say you disagree. That's what we finna do around here, man. We finna create a community. I'm creating a movement. The end of the bench finna take over the universe, Jack. And as usual, I'm gonna end every show by saying, dream your dreams and man up and woman up and live your dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black or white. Life with dreams flows in technicolor surround sound. And when it comes to this world, negativity is omnipresent. It's everywhere. You always have to be present, but you don't have to be available. It's your man HRap. 2 fingers, 1 word, and I am